Hello, class. Welcome to Module 3. This week we're going to learn about indexing and creating user accounts, that sort of thing. So let's get started. Just want to give you a little help on how to do this so you don't have to go and figure everything out on your own. Okay, the first thing we want to do is import a data set. Now, this is going to be a CSV file. In the previous weeks, you've been importing JSON files, and that is the default, that's what MongoDB anticipates that you're going to be using. So that tells us that's the preferred type of data, easiest to work with, but you don't always get what you want. So now we have a CSV file, and MongoDB can still handle it, but you just have to give it a couple of more pieces of information so that it knows that's what you're using. And notice down here I have the type equals CSV, and I have the header line flag. And what that does is it tells Mongo CSV to use the first row as the field names. And if you didn't have a header row, you would have to provide a set of field names that line up with the number of columns that's going to be you're going to end up with when you split each row on the comma. Now, the other type of file that's very common for separated values, token separated values, is a tab. So typically we either have a comma separated or a tab separated values file. So this is comma separated, and just by telling the MongoDB that it's a CSV, it knows to split everything on the comma. And now, of course, it's going to know to use the first row as field names. So I've already imported that, but you can see here this is the import statement you need. So I'm not going to run it again. So now let's go on into the Mongo shell and show DBs. So our AAC database is here because I've already imported it. Now, so the first thing we're supposed to do then, after we import the data, is create a new index. So we're going to first we're going to use AAC, and then we're going to let's show collections. So we just have the one, animals. So it tells us to create an index on a single column, breed. Okay, so you want a colon in between there, not a comma. Okay, so we've created an index. And now what I want to do is, if you recall from last week, we used the aggregate and aggregate function and the group operator to find all of the unique sector names, I believe it was. So now we're going to do the same thing, and this is not part of the assignment. But so right now, you could do something like this. Right now, we have no visibility into what sort of data we have in there for breed. So we don't, it's going to be hard to craft a query um, unless you just literally take what they tell you to query on here, like Shetland mix or something like that. But um, let's go ahead and give ourselves a little visibility into what sort of data we have in this database for breed. So if you recall, we used, as I said, the aggregate function and the group operator. So here we go. We're going to group on breed, and this is going to give us all of the different breeds in the database. Here's an interesting one, toy poodle mix. Let's see what else we got. Whippet beagle. Let's try that one. So now we're going to find okay, so it only returned one. So that's our find. Now, of course, we created the index on breed. We queried on breed. So now we want to verify or offer some evidence that the query actually used our index. So I have that in the buffer here rather than type it all up again. Oh, that has to be a string. I see. Execution stats. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, so this tells us the statistics for the execution of the query, and here is our index, winning plan, and it used our index breed1. So once you've done those things, capture all of that in screenshots and put that in your document for submission. So let's go on to the next one. We're going to create another index, a compound index, to look for both. It's going to be an index on both breed and outcome type. So I've got one of those in the buffer. Okay, here we are. It's simply the same type of syntax, only you put a comma and then put the other column name and the sort order there. Okay, so here's the name of our new index, breed _1 _outcome _type _1. So now we're looking for breeds, specific breeds that have an outcome type of transfer. So let's see what kind of query I've got in the buffer. So we're going to do a find on 2 columns. Here you go. We're going to find a breed of domestic short-hair mix with an outcome type of transfer, as we were instructed to do. So we got several. Remember when we looked for Whippet Beagles, we only found one. Here we have quite a few, and it's telling us that we could actually type in IT and get even more. But let's go ahead and add on our explain. Execution. Okay, so here are the execution stats, and let's see if it used our, and here it is. So it actually used our new compound index. So again, once you've done all of that, capture that in screenshots. So now we want to create a new user type. Now remember, what it's asking you to do is create a new user account called AAC user, and it's only going to, this account is only going to have access to the AAC database. It shouldn't be able to even see any other databases. And you can verify that for yourselves later on when after you create the account and you log in, and you'll find that when you show DBs, you only see the one. So, but what we want to do is, you don't want to create the account in the database that it allows access to, because the user accounts are kept up with in the admin database. So we want to use admin, and once again, let me show you one thing. As you see, we can see, because we're logged in as an admin, we can see all of the databases, the ones we imported before: City, Enron, AAC, and then of course the default databases. Now, as I said, later on when you log in with your new account, you should only see the AAC database. So let me find my create user command in here. And here it is. Except we want to replace this secure password with SNHU 123, I believe it said to do. SNHU 1234, it's right here. And we're going to assign it a role of read-write in a DB, a single DB of AAC. Okay, the user already exists because I've done this, obviously. So let's try this. Okay, so now we've dropped the user that I created previously. Let me go back to my create statement. Here we go. Create user. SNA2 1234. Okay, so now we have our new user account. So once this is complete, you can run mongo sh in that window as your new user. So let's quit. So now we're back out, we're outside the shell. So now we should be able to set some environmental variables to tell the Mongo shell that we're going to log in as this new user. So Mongo user equals AAC user. Mongo pass equals SNHU1234. Now let's try the Mongo shell. Show DBs. So we only see the one, but so that's pretty good evidence that we're in as that user. But let's do one thing. It wants us to run command connection status. So let's do that. And here we are. So we are in, the authentication info says that we're in as AAC user, and that we have read-write privileges to database AAC. So I guess one more test we could do. At this point, you got all your screenshots. You're pretty much done. But let's just use AAC and query some data. So we can see the data, and presumably you could write to it. You're welcome to test that out on your own if you're interested, by updating something. But that wasn't part of what we were tasked with this week. So, that's a good experiment. So anyway, that's it. I hope you can have a good weekend, what's left of it, and a nice week next week. I'll see you next time.